my IIM CAP interview process of 2024. One interview which has been conducted today for admission to the 10 IIMs, Bodh Gaya, Jammu, Trichy, Udaipur, Raipur, Ranchi, Sambalpur, Sirmaur, Kashipur and Nagpur. Hi guys, a very good morning and welcome back to another video. This is Muktadip Saha this side and आज है 28th of February. It's 9:25 AM and आज है मेरा IIM CAP का interview process. My slot today is the forenoon slot. So I've been asked to join in the Zoom meeting at about 9:15 AM and अभी तक कोई sequence announce नहीं हुआ है which sequence the interviews will be and what will be my serial number. We've just been asked to change our Zoom names to our cat ID underscore our full names, and we have also been asked to keep our identity card handy, which we have uploaded during the application process for verification purposes. So stay tuned with this video and I will be sharing with you my interview experience, what were the questions I was asked, the actual questions, what was my take on the interview, who were taking my interview, whether it was a chill interview, whether it was a stressful interview, what questions you can expect, and it will be a really insightful video for you. So stay tuned and let's begin. I'm currently in the waiting room. Today is 28th of February 2024. The time currently is 9:25. This is me, Muktadip Saha. Wish me luck. So guys, abhi update ye hai ki it's 10:35 AM and I'm still waiting for my turn to be interviewed by the panelists. So while waiting, I was thinking to give you an insight about the entire CAP process, what it is like, how is it conducted, how the 10 IIMs come together and there is only one interview process. And by just giving one interview and clearing it, converting it, you can get admission to all the 10 IIMs. You can receive an admit call from all the 10 IIMs that comes under the CAP process. I have heard many students, my fellow batchmates, my fellow aspirants who are giving the CAP process along with me and other interviews, that they have lots of questions and doubts about how the CAP process is, whether they have to fill any preference list according to their choice, how is it like. And you might also have many questions in your mind about the CAP process. I myself had questions and doubts and confusions about the CAP process up until probably like 2 weeks back, which I clarified with seniors from all the IIMs. I reached out to many seniors on LinkedIn among the 10 IIMs of the CAP process of the CAP, and I myself clarified all the doubts I had and questions I had. So I'll try to answer those things and share you my experience about it. And even after that, if you have any questions, any doubts, please feel free to drop it down in the comment section down below. And I will be more than happy to reply each one of you and answer all your questions that you might have. To understand the CAP process, you have to first understand the CAT exam process. There are 21 IIMs. Up until last year, there were 20 IIMs. With the inclusion of IIM Mumbai this year, it has become 21 IIMs. So among these 21 IIMs, the 6 old IIMs, the BLACKI IIMs as we popularly call them, Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta, Lucknow, Kozhikode and Indore, these 6 IIMs, they conduct the CAT exam each year on a rotation basis. Once the CAT exam is over, the conducting IIM will share your CAT score and your CAT percentile with all the other IIMs. So IIM Lucknow this year will share my CAT score and my CAT percentile with all the other IIMs, all the other 20 IIMs and the other non-IIMs which are participating institutions. Once your score is shared, each IIM individually will have certain parameters and certain percentages assigned to those parameters. For example, let's say IIM Kozhikode, for example, has given me a personal interview shortlist call. So IIM Kozhikode will take your CAT score, assign a percentage and a weightage to it. It will also take your 10th score, 12th score, graduation score, WorkX score, academic and gender diversity, and give parameters, give percentages to all these parameters, and then they will make a composite score. And if your composite score is above the cutoff score that they have every year, you will be given a call, a shortlist for the personal interview. Many IIMs have their own personal interview process, have their own personal shortlist process. For example, the old IIMs have their own process. AMRITSAR has its own process. Visakhapatnam its own process. Shillong has its own process. And these IIMs will call you individually for their personal interview process. Now, there are 10 IIMs which have decided that let's come together. They have come together and they have formed the CAP body, which is the common admission process. These 10 IIMs are Bodh Gaya, Jammu, Trichy, Udaipur, Raipur, Ranchi, Kashipur, Nagpur, Sirmaur, Sambalpur. So among these 10 IIMs, one IIM is the CAP process conducting IIM every year. Just like the CAT exam, that one IIM among the 6 old IIMs conducts CAP on a rotation basis every year. So one among these 10 IIMs which are under the CAP process will conduct the CAP process on a rotation basis every year. So this year, for example, in 2024, Kashipur is the conducting body for the CAP process. So IIM Kashipur will conduct the entire CAP process, will take the interviews. There is only one interview that is being conducted for the 10 IIMs. It will be conducted by IIM Kashipur, which is the conducting IIM of CAP process this year. And once the interview is over, IIM Kashipur will share the personal interview score with the other 9 IIMs. They already have your personal details, which you have filled in the CAP form and the CAT form. Then IIM Kashipur will share your personal interview score with the 9 IIMs. Now, each IIM has again their own parameters and percentages assigned to those parameters. Your 10th, 12th, graduation scores, your WorkX, your academic and gender diversity, bases the percentages to these parameters, and bases the bases the personal interview score, you will be given a composite score. And each IIM will have their own separate composite score because the parameters and the percentage assigned to those parameters are different. Just to give an example, as I told you, IIM Udaipur has a 60% weightage to CAT, whereas IIM Sambalpur has the lowest weightage to CAT and highest weightage to your profile and your personal interview. So this is how the composite score of every IIM, all the 10 IIMs of the CAP process is released, and if you are above the cutoff score, you will be given a shortlist for the final admission. So this is how the CAP process is essentially conducted. There's another thing that all these 10 IIMs will individually give out offer letters for admission. It's not the common admission process anymore. So the common admission process ensures that there is only one interview which is taken by the conducting IIM that year. In this year, it's IIM Kashipur. But after that, it's individually every IIM that they will give you a waitlist offer or a admission offer or a rejection. I am pretty sure that you people are great people and you will not get a rejection offer. Once the interview is done, it's all separate and it's all individual among all the IIMs, among the 10 IIMs of the CAP process. One more question which more often than not pops up in the minds of the audience is whether they have to give a short preference list in terms of that there are 10 IIMs. So my preference is, let's say for example, Udaipur pehle aata hai, uske baad it's Kashipur, uske baad it's let's say Trichy. So there is no preference as such. You give the interview for the CAP process. Once you fill in the CAP form, you give the interview for the CAP process. Your score is shared with the 10 IIMs. The 10 IIMs individually release the offer letters. If you do not accept an offer, so let's say, let's take this example. You get an admit from all the 10 IIMs that are in the CAP process. And then you choose to go to Udaipur and you don't accept the offer of the other 9 IIMs. Immediately, the offer will be given to the next person who is waitlisted after you. So no preference, one interview and admission to all the 10 CAP IIMs. Hi guys, just finished with my IIM CAP interview process of 2024. The interview lasted for about 20-ish minutes, 18 to 20-ish minutes. It was a pretty good interview, pretty chill, no stress moments at all. There were 2 professors in the panel. I could not locate those professors, so I'm sorry I cannot tell you their names or their designation as to which domain they belong from, marketing or operations or HR or finance. So the first question I was asked was, tell me about yourself. I introduced myself. I told about my background, my undergraduation, my interests, my hobbies, my strengths, my work experience, and why I want to do an MBA. I said everything. There were 2 professors in the panel, and both of them were in their late 40s, and they were quite aged, quite veteran professors. So one of the professors who asked me about to tell me about myself, he asked me that, okay, you have a good score of computer science in your 10th and 12th. Why did you not decide to take up computer science engineering in your undergraduation? To which I replied that, okay, sir, since you have taken up this topic, let me tell you that, sir, I actually am an engineering dropout. I got into engineering. I was doing a computer science engineering only. My brother is from IIT Bombay. He did an aerospace engineering from IIT Bombay, and the natural progression of me also, since I was good in studies, to go into engineering. I also pursued engineering for about 6-7 months. Then I decided to switch from engineering and go into mass communication to pursue my passion, my creative side, and pursue my interest for the creative arts. That's why I switched from from engineering to mass communication. Then he said that pretty interesting. Then he asked me, okay, so tell me about your hobbies. So I said him about my hobbies. Then we were having a discussion about cashbacks, since researching about cashbacks, which started from a dissertation project of my undergraduation in St. Xavier's College. My topic of the dissertation was cashbacks, whether it is a customer utility or marketing gimmick. So I told them about cashbacks and how I earn cashbacks and how I also have a community of friends and family whom I help into earning cashbacks. So once this was answered, he asked me that, okay, so you have a background of media, you have done mass communication. So why don't you go and pursue media management or something like that? Why do you want to get into core management? I answered him that, sir, I studied marketing and advertising in my undergraduation. Moving forward, I was pursuing my advertising in my work experience and marketing in my work experience. So going forward, I want to hone my marketing skills and be better at it, and also learn about all the functional domains of an organization and be better at taking decisions and be a better manager. That's why I want to do a management, a MBA. And he also asked me that, why don't you want to? I mean, this has become a quintessential question which I am facing in all the interviews. He also asked me that, why don't you pursue the creative side? You are an actor, you have acted in a national award winning movie. So why don't you do that? So I said that searching is not a profession, it's just a hobby, it's a passion for me, and I want to keep it as a passion for as it is. So then I was asked about what is semionics. He also asked me that what other calls I have. I told him about my other calls. He said that whether I applied to MICA or not and whether I got a PI shortlist. I said that yes, sir, I applied to MICA and I also got a PI shortlist. Then he asked me that, if given a choice, what will be your preference? Any IIM from these 10 IIMs of the CAP process or MICA? I told him, I was honest, and I told him that, sir, MICA will be my first choice, being a person who loves creative arts and also marketing. So MICA will be my first choice. Then he smiled and he said, okay, good answer. Then the second professor took over. He asked me who are the competitors of Ola Electric. He then also asked me about ACC batteries. He then also asked me about the battery swapping policy of the government of India, about of Niti Aayog, and what are the advantages and disadvantages of it. He then also asked me about what is digital marketing, what do you know about digital marketing. After that, his questions were done, and then the first professor, he then started asking me about my hobbies again. And he said that, okay, so you are an actor and you've done theater, so tell me the names of famous Bengali theater actors, which I did. He then told me to name Bengali theater actors who have acted in Hindi movies and who are popular. I told him Utpal Datta, and I told him other names as well. He then started asking me questions on Bengali film directors who have made a mark. We had a discussion about Satyajit Ray, about Mrinal Sen, and cinema that they have done and how their style of cinema is different from each other. And after this, they said that, okay, Muktadeep, that was all. Thank you so much and wish you all the very best. I then said that, okay, sir, thank you very much, and wish you a very good day ahead. They said that, okay, you can log off of the meeting. And that was about it. The interview lasted for about 18 to 20-ish minutes. It was a pretty chill interview. The professors were very much humble enough and kind enough to make me feel comfortable whenever I was unable to answer a question or I was thinking about it. They were making me at ease, and it was a very chill and good interview. I'll tell you the verdict. I don't know which IIMs will be selecting me, but it was a very good interview. To give you guys a suggestion about your CAP interview process and what you should prepare, be thorough with your undergraduation subjects, though I was not asked, but you could be asked. Be thorough with current affairs and the industry you belong from. Since I belong from the EV industry, I was asked about battery swapping policy, the competitors. So be thorough about your work experience and the industry you work in. If you come from the automobile industry or the FMCG industry, be thorough about the competitors, the market size, who are the major players, what are the government policies, what is the government doing, what are the customer reviews, the customer insights, all of these questions. Be thorough with current affairs and general knowledge. I am hearing many people who have done their interviews that they were asked about, tell us about 3 business news, tell us 3 current affairs that you are following, tell us 3 business news which are of interest to you, tell us about 3 business news from the industry you belong from. So all of these questions can be asked. CAP interviews have this reputation of asking more current affairs, business affairs, and general knowledge questions. So revise those and be thorough with it. Also, revise about the industry that you work in. And I wish you all the very best for the CAP interview process. And may you convert your best call among the CAP process. And if you have better calls, may you convert your best call. And I wish you all the very best. Thank you for watching this video. If you guys like this video and if this was helpful, please hit the like button down below. It's just a button for you. It's just a click for you. But for us YouTubers, it's a sign. It's a sign to the algorithm, and it tells the algorithm that this video is good, this video is helpful, and it will show up in the feeds of other aspirants like you, and it will help me reach to a larger audience and actually make an impact. Please share it with your friends, with your in your Telegram groups, in your WhatsApp groups, with your coaching friends, with other aspirants, to help them out also. Please subscribe to my channel, because more interview experiences will be coming up and other MBA things will be coming up. The big interviews are still left. Lucknow, Kozhikode, Shillong, all these are still left. Please subscribe to my channel. And thank you so much for watching. I wish you a very good day ahead, and I wish you all the very best for your interviews, and may you convert your best call. Thank you so very much.